Oh yeah, man. And it's Sunday. Because I missed y'all on Friday. Now I gotta make up for lost time. Stay ahead of the game. So it's Sunday. Easy like Sunday morning. So I'm hoping that I could catch a couple of y'all slipping on this Sunday afternoon. Where you're like, you know what? I ain't have nothing to do. So I might as well go ahead and check out Kev from Kevin's Corner and see what he's talking about. Because I got some stuff to talk about. Yep, they always give us stuff to talk about when it comes down to these crazy behind liberals, the fake news, the Democrats, you name it. The whole kit and caboodle. So, yeah, I got some people checking in on a Sunday. Wow, I got a notification, says Patsy. Yeah, I'm shocked too. Yeah, whenever notifications go out, I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. But, I'll take it when I can get it. Oh, you know what I noticed? Not only did I get a notification, but I'm looking at myself and I'm not stretched out. What's going on with this? Oh, yeah, I look normal again. Well, I'll be darned. Yeah, well, look at that. Well, I'm not going to complain, and I don't want to jinx it. Just my luck. So I'll mess around and go right back. I'll be all stretched out looking funny. So, yeah. Somebody said, what's really happening? Oh, yeah, I see people logging in. I'm about to go ahead and send something to myself. Hey, Kev. Yeah, buddy. Because, see, the more you interact, the more, I guess, they send out the notifications. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think it might be a rumor. They're probably just saying that because apparently, as much as I get when it comes down to people interacting, I don't ever see that. They know just how many people to let see my live stream or any of my pre-uploaded videos. They're like, okay, all right, we got his cutoff numbers right at this. Somebody says, surprise, Kevin is awesome. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, y'all. You guys are awesome too, man. I couldn't do it without you. I wouldn't want to do it without you. That's the whole thing. And, in spite of all of the obstacles that they put out there to slow down progress when it comes down to conservative YouTubers, it's still worth it. It really is. It's still worth it. When I read your comments, I'm just all tickled pink on the inside, and I'm able to just appreciate all the efforts that you guys make to watch my show, to share my show, to like my show, and those that donate to the show to help the show keep going on. I also thank you very, very much as well. So now, while people are logging on or getting notifications, hopefully, I might as well go ahead and get busy, while we wait for the rest of the folks to come on in. Oh, wait a minute. That's not where I want the sound coming from. See, that's the thing. I want the sound coming from right out of here. Give it to me. Like real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Listen, Jesus in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. That's right, y'all. And let me get my glasses all cleaned up so I can see. My eyes already blurry. I tell y'all, man, doing this, I don't know. I get older, my eyes and ears. Tell you, they get worse. I be like, what'd you say? What'd you say, Sonny? I can't hear you. Can you speak in my good ear? Then the eyes start acting a fool. Everything. So I got to protect them. Got to protect them the best I can. Somebody says see and hear. Good. Now, like I said, while people are logging on, I want to go ahead and make sure that if this is your first time, first of all, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you turn your notification buttons on to all so that you don't get played by YouTube, even though they'll probably still play you anyway. And then also let you know that there's a Kevin's Corner store up in this funky joint. So you can always go and check out Kevin's Corner store where you can get merchandise of myself and my dogs. And all kind of stuff like that. And the Gorilla Clan, you can support through that. And you can also support the channel through just simply donating to my Cash App, my PayPal links, all of that stuff, or the Super Chat. But if you want to make sure it goes directly to me, you're probably better off going through PayPal or my Cash App. Because, who knows, I might say something that ticks YouTube off and they might demonetize the video. So, if you don't want to run that risk of them confiscating your cash or something like that, then, just go straight to the horse's mouth. Now, guys, it's Sunday and I missed Friday. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to make Friday up on Saturday. And then Saturday came and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my Saturday. And then I'm going to do it on Sunday, right before I go into work. And here I am. Okay. Because, I've been watching all kind of videos over the last couple of days and people are all up in arms because they're mad. They're mad because some of their favorite programs that are propaganda outlets are being canceled, y'all. Oh, yeah, man, they're being canceled. And, of course, they're blaming, Trump and his totalitarianism. And, that's what dictators do. And, all the stuff that they just imagine is the reason. And so I figure I might as well comment on it and we might as well enjoy it and gloat as well. And then we'll get into some other topics and things that's happening as well. But first, before we get that going, it looks like the WNBA, they want some more money, y'all. They want some more money. Did y'all see? They came out with their little shirts on saying, pay us what we're worth. Pay us what we're worth. Now, of course, I think they're sadly mistaken when it comes down to demanding money that they have not generated. And they're going to mess around and find out that their whole league might get canceled. But because we're living in a very generous time where they're trying to accommodate all of the feminists and, eliminate all of the accusations of women don't ever make men make and all that stuff, they're being supplied by the men's league. And now, of course, the one person in their league that's making all of the money right now, they're attacking her and they're mad and jealous and stuff like that. And, they're going to mess around and ruin that as well. So, I found a comedian out there that was very sympathetic to their needs. And I said, you know what? Why not? Since they're out there whining about not getting all that money, this comedian right here sums it all up for them. Here we go. Oh, I didn't reverse it. So the famous offensive comedian took several unfunny swipes at the women of the WNBA during an annual ESPY award ceremony. What? He dared to be different? Now, you got to be careful when you come out there making jokes about the WNBA. Let's see what he had to say. Because they said it ain't funny. They said it's offensive and unfunny. Let us be the judge of that.
I'll be the judge of that.
Here we go!
Oh, that guy's weird. Four-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players.
Thank you.
That's crazy. You clap for that.
Boy, that's great. That is so true. They all clap because they have no idea. And that summed it all up. I could just throw out any name in the world and they will have no idea. Just like Bill, what was his name? I forget. It used to be funny. Bill, not Bill Barr, Bill Burr. Bill Burr. When he came out and he said that, name the one, your favorite WNBA player. And nobody could. And he said, matter of fact, you probably don't even know if you have a WNBA team in your state or your city. That's how bad it is. And yet they're out here whining for more money. And that comedian landed it. And they don't think that was funny. That was hilarious. Yes, that just highlighted how, nobody knows who these people are, but they're demanding all of the money. And I hope they pay a price. And what I mean by that is they should be happy to be making anything right now because it's, their whole league is being supplemented by the WNBA, the NBA, and they're whining about they're not making enough money. And when they're making nothing, then maybe they'll realize that making something, especially doing what you love to do, is better than making nothing. I don't know about any of you all that played sports back in the day. As a former football player, as much as I love football, I mean, I heard the one girl, Angel Reese, who got the big mouth and is always talking about racism and stuff like that. She makes like $78,000 a year doing that, and probably money with endorsements and things like that. To play basketball. I'm just saying, to play basketball. I mean, I don't even make that working in a steel mill. She plays basketball and she makes that. Now, I don't know about you, but I mean, if I would get out there, if I could just play a couple downs of football and make 78 grand, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it. But they'll learn one way or another. But that's hilarious. I thought that guy was funny. But of course, they had to say that it was unfunny because it was funny. And matter of fact, speaking of Angel Reese, here she is right here trying to make a layup and getting her own rebound.
Back from that shoulder injury.
Okay, here we go. One. Oh, wait. Okay.
No.
Two. Oh, okay. Try it again. Three. Wait. Oh. Boy, can you imagine Michael Jordan trying to make, several rebounds, his own rebounds? Just keep getting it. I'm surprised that she managed to get her own rebounds like 5 times and missed the shot. Missed the shot like 5 times. I mean, she stinks. And yet they out here whining about more money. So they need a big old piece of humble pie. That's what they need. But we'll see. Now, speaking of no money, these propaganda networks are starting to feel the heat. They're getting canceled, y'all. And I guess they want to also make money off of either, people watching their show who love to hear nothing but left-wing propaganda, or from us, the taxpayers. So let's start off with the first person who's getting canceled, and everybody's whining about it. Who could that be? Let's see. Oh, well, look at this. Donald Trump blasts Stephen Colber. That guy? Oh, called him very boring. Oh, what is that? That guy right there that was pushing propaganda on behalf of the Democrats and Big Pharma. That guy who was out here talking about us who didn't want to get the you-know-what and stuff like that. Allowed himself to be used to get out there shaking and all of that. Well, let's see what's happening to him now.
What a bunch of losers.
Yes, he is Trump.
Dread it, run from it. Destiny arrives all the same.
Yes, it does. The Trump curse.
Breaking news, CBS is canceling The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Colbert just making the shocking announcement at his show taping.
Let's hear it.
Now, it's unclear.
But look, you see Siri? You see Siri? I don't know why Siri had to come in. I'm thinking, Siri, what do you want? What do you want, Siri? Okay, let's get you out of here.
It's not a problem.
You know what? Yeah, it is a problem. It's a problem. You keep coming in and interrupting my show. Dang on it. Now, let's get back to this.
It comes after Colbert spoke out against his parent company, Paramount's $16 million settlement with Trump over the editing of a 60 Minutes interview.
Oh.
In fact, here's what Colbert said just a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles. It's a big fat bribe.
A big fat bribe. So now, just like some of the other folks who work for a network who's paying them a lot of money to be propagandists, this guy gets out here and he makes an insult. Now, I'm not saying that's the whole reason why this guy got canned, because word on the street is his ratings are in the tank. I remember late night shows were funny. Johnny the Carson, Conan O'Brien, all those guys. They were funny because they focused on making people laugh. But now all of a sudden they've been replaced with propagandists. So now this guy comes out here and makes this big statement. Instead of saying, you know what, that's a big bribe. No. How about this? They probably should have paid more because they were trying to cheat. There you go. It was warranted. They had to cough up that cheese because they cheated. When you cheat, you got to give up the cheese. See, that's cheat cheese you had to give up. So they had to give up some cheat cheese, and then he comes out and decides to comment on that, okay? Because right now, everything about these late night shows revolves around Donald Trump. Just like the fake news, he might as well be CNN. He might as well be MSNBC. And I'm thinking, aren't you supposed to be a comedian? Aren't you supposed to be making people laugh? But everything revolves around Trump.
Because this all comes as Paramount's owners are trying to get the Trump administration to approve the sale of our network to a new owner, Skydance.
However, CBS says this is a financial decision given the difficulties with the entire late night sector. And there is some truth to that explanation.
Y'all hear little Brian Stelter with that open stadium? However, the CBS says that it is that there is some truth to that. Yes, of course there's some truth to that. When you develop your whole persona around Trump and you allow yourself to be used by Democrats over and over and over and over and over again, after a while, people say, well, okay, all right, we get it. You hate Trump. Well, I mean, is there anything else you could bring up that might be funny? Can you talk about anything else in the world? Like CNN and MSNBC, do they even cover anything besides Trump? Do they ever even talk about normal stuff that does not involve Trump one way or another? Or be able to tie Trump into it regardless of what it is? I thought there was a flash flood, there were people killed, and obviously this is because of Donald Trump's choices. Every single thing that they talk about gets tied right back to Trump. And after a while, you could only, supply so many people with Trump derangement syndrome before even people with a little common sense start to say, okay, all right, I get it. This is a propaganda network. It's all about hating Trump. I could only listen to Trump is this so much. Trump is that. Trump is this. Trump is that. So much before I say, okay, whatever. I'm changing the channel. And then they wonder why they get canceled.
I reported a couple years ago about the Late Late Show ending with James Corden because it wasn't profitable anymore.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night.
What?
Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
Hooray! Ding dong, the dodo bird is gone. See, that's what you get for having some lopsided ears. That's what you get for having one ear like this and one ear like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what the audience has to say.
And
yeah, I know.
yeah, I share your feelings.
Yeah, and you deserve it because you're not bringing in the ratings, okay? And not to mention, I'm sitting here saying, okay, well, do you have anything else to add to your show to widen your audience? That's my question. And there's a recurring theme happening. CNN, their audience is shrinking. MSNBC, their audience is shrinking. But it's odd that Fox is growing. What's his name? The comedian. Wow, he has the #1 late show. It's odd. Greg Gutfield. His show is growing. It's odd. Maybe we have more common sense people that are more grounded in reality than these people think. So they have to work overtime and provide all of these networks to go up against a few. Actually, Fox is the only large network that they compete with. The rest of them are just getting started, but yet they're getting dominated. They're trying to jump Fox, but they're getting dominated still. And it just goes to show that they only supply, content to crazy people who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. So there is hope, y'all. There is a God. There is a God when I look at the large amount of people who still are grounded and are able to say, yo, man, these networks have lost their way and I'm not going to support them. And I hope that they go ahead and cancel the show earlier than a whole year from now. That's what I hope. I hope they go ahead and cancel that mug tomorrow.
Not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced.
Hooray!
This is all just going away.
Yeah. Yes! One down, couple more to go.
I do want to say that the folks at CBS have been great partners. I'm so grateful to the Tiffany Network for giving me this chair and this beautiful theater to call home.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well. Isn't that great, y'all? So that's one down. We got some more to go. I want to see all these joints shut down because the propaganda that comes out of these places are ridiculous. They supply our society with a lot of crazy people. That's right. They give them their talking points, their ideas. They download all of the crazy realities in their brains, and then we see them out there acting a fool in the streets, attacking ICE, repeating talking points that come out of these people, which we're going to see some later. All right, but wait, let's see.
There have been speculation raging online for the last 2 weeks about whether Skydance was going to try to push Colber out. In fact, this had been such a hot topic that Colber came back from vacation on Monday and he made jokes about it. He said he had a new mustache and so the new owners wouldn't be able to find him. So on Monday, Colber was joking about possibly being in danger. On Wednesday, he found
Somebody
out.
said, just wondering why you say good morning. My fault. I think I corrected it. I did say good afternoon or good evening or something like that. In my mind, it was morning. You know, in my mind, I was like, okay, Sunday morning. Easy like Sunday morning. But now, here's little Brian Stelter trying to go ahead and, add some, I guess some information to this whole situation.
Our show was being canceled. Tonight, he announced it. And this all takes effect next May, Aaron. So he does have one more season. But this means one of the staunchest Trump critics on television will be leaving.
Bam! And that's exactly why he needs to go. Yeah, I mean, you got a late night show that's really a Trump hating show. That's all it is. And you need to go. And little Brian Stelter, yeah, he knows how this feels because his show got canceled and somehow he came back. I don't understand. I don't know why they brought that open stadium back. I really don't. Okay, but they bring him back for a couple years, maybe, who knows? And he'll be gone again too. So yep, that guy got a whole nother year of pushing nothing but Trump deranged propaganda.
Yeah, and incredible to think, and I know we will learn more here in the coming days, how quickly it all seemed to fall apart.
Yeah, how quickly it all seemed to fall apart. Now, little Brian Stelter mentioned Trump critics. See, and it's odd that all of these people get up in arms over a late night host being canceled for some reason. Well, what's it to them? Why do people like Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren need to be upset about that? Why is it that somebody like Adam Schiff needs to be? Oh, it's because this guy brings all of them on his show at night to go ahead and trash Trump. Yeah, they know that that's one more of the avenues that they use to go ahead and push propaganda. That's why they're mad about this, because there's no reason politicians need to be getting upset about a business decision made by that network unless it benefited them. It's the same reason why they were all upset when Twitter was bought out by Elon Musk. Yeah, I mean, why would they be upset about that? What did they have to do? Oh, because prior to that, it was being used by the Democrats and the fake news to push propaganda, to silence people, to censor folks, and all of that stuff. So if they can't own it, then they want to destroy it. And then when it gets taken away from them, they come out and complain. And I'm going, what this got to do with you, Elizabeth Warren? Oh, it's one of the places that y'all run to push propaganda.
And things like this generally don't fall apart all of the sudden, unless there's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason. And guess who else is going on? NPR, PBS, canceled. Oh, yeah, man. It gets gooder and gooder, like they say in the church. Get up and testify. Jesus gets gooder and gooder. You'd be like, is that proper English? Gooder? Can you say gooder? Well, in this case, yes, it gets gooder and gooder. Let's see.
When it comes to the accusation of bias, I would start, as I always start by saying, which is we, of course, are a nonpartisan organization.
Holy moly. Can you believe this? Now, this lady trying to get out there and save her job, talking about we're a nonpartisan organization. I've listened to PBS and NPR before. Don't sound nonpartisan to me. They always forget, though, that the evidence don't line up with the statement. When their back is up against the wall, they come out and they say what they think is expedient. Just like CNN. They'll come out and tell you they're nonpartisan. Yeah, when you call one of their commentators a Democrat, they'll be out there, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not either. And I'm going, are you kidding me? I mean, every single thing that comes out of your mouth is contrary to what you just said. Every hit piece, every guest you bring on, every response, it all points to you being a full-blown Democrat voter and supporter. Just be honest. Just keep it 100% real, and you'll be better off. So this lady right here is out there trying to build the case that she don't know why. She don't know why they defunding them. She don't know why, because they're nonpartisan. So we better go ahead and bring up some receipts.
And we want to serve and are required to serve the entirety of the American public.
Oh, really?
Do you believe that America is addicted to white supremacy?
I believe that I tweeted that, and as I've said earlier, I believe much of my thinking has evolved.
Oh, it's evolved. She's pulling a Kamala Chameleon Harris. My policies have changed, but my values have remained the same. How does that work? And how do your thinking revolve that quick? All right, you go out there and you say that most of America is addicted to white supremacy, and she's now saying that her thinking have evolved now that y'all have brought me in, and my job is at risk, and y'all are thinking about defunding us because we are a propaganda network that is using taxpayers' dollars for propaganda.
For the last half decade.
It has evolved. Why did you tweet that?
Because I'm a propagandist and I'm a full-blown liberal. That's why. But now I can't tell you that because now watch this.
I don't recall the exact context, sir.
I don't recall the exact context. So now I got to hit her with the Coach Walker. Yeah. Well, if you don't know, who knows? I don't have to remember things. How could you not remember the exact context that you tweeted something like that in? But yet you know that your thinking has evolved since then. So, yeah, it didn't evolve. What happened is your answer has to evolve because you know you're about to get defunded.
So I wouldn't be able to say.
Okay. Do you believe that America believes in black plunder and white democracy?
I don't believe that, sir.
You tweeted that in reference to a book you were reading at the
Oh,
time.
I love it. I love it when they bring up the receipts. I love these things right here. I don't remember. Are you kidding me? You think this guy is going to read that out there? He's going to ask you that question without no point of reference. That's what you think he's doing? I don't recall did I do that? I said that? See, that's bad when you get out there and you drop so much nonsense out there that you can't keep track of it. So, yeah, he had a reminder.
I'm apparently the case for reparations.
I don't think I've ever read that book, sir.
You didn't?
You tweeted about it. You said you took a day off to fully read the case for reparations. You put that on Twitter in January of 2020.
Was that me? Oh, that maybe somebody hacked my account. That's probably what had happened. You sure it was me? Did it have like my middle initial is it my regular account or is like my? Cause see, I got like what? Somebody manages my account. Now in her head, she's probably like, oh my God, I'm about to get the hammer. I got to go ahead and try to weasel out of this and pretend that all of this stuff that I left out there on the internets, now all of a sudden I don't recall it. I don't know what the context was and this and that. Now, see, I know what I believe. I know what I think. There's nothing I have ever said on the internets or during my show that if somebody brings it up and asks me about it, that I won't be able to say, yeah, exactly, I said that and this is what I meant by it. But see, this is what happens when you're a liberal and you use nothing but this divisive language and these beliefs that the world is divided up between white people, even though you're white, white supremacists, white this, white that, you want to go ahead and win favor amongst all of your woke friends by casting other white folks into these categories and throwing all of this negativity on white this and white that. Look at me, I'm woke. I'm supporting the indigenous people. I'm supporting all of the minorities and stuff by trashing white folks like that. Yeah, I lay it to everybody. I'll lay it to black folks if they acting up. I'll lay it to white folks if they acting up. Yeah, but I will back it all up and say, oh, I know exactly what I said and why I said that. And here's why I did it. But these people, because their statements are so crazy and backwards when they're asked about it, they know it's so divisive and when it's repeated, it sounds so foul that it's like, oh, I was out there saying that? Yeah, that's probably not something that these people listening to this is going to say, well, that sounds pretty, they're probably going to be going, I can't even believe she said that. Why would she say something like that? So I got to clean that mess up. I got to pretend that I didn't mean it, that I've evolved, that I don't remember it.
Apologies, I don't recall that I did.
Okay.
I'd no doubt that your tweet there is correct, but I don't recall.
Oh, yeah, it's correct, all right. So how are you going to get out of this, lady?
Okay. Do you believe that white people inherently feel superior to other races?
I do not.
You don't? You tweeted something to that effect. You said, I grew up feeling superior. How white of me.
How white of me. Look at that virtue signal. I grew up feeling superior. How white of me. There you go. Always take an opportunity to go ahead and undermine my whiteness, act like I don't really like being white. Yeah, I kind of despise it. I'm so conscious of when I utilize and benefit off of my white supremacy or white, my white, what do they call that? White privilege. There it is. Yeah, I'm conscious of it. I'm so conscious of it. And then I'm going to let you know how I feel about it by just mentioning it. And how white of me. How white of me. So what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to go ahead and give up your wealth, your position to someone else? How are you going to rectify that? Just by acknowledging it? What does that do? What does that do for us? What does that do for, as a black man, you just acknowledging it don't do nothing for me. Don't do nothing for me. You making all of those chips off of taxpayers' dollars. How about you give me that salary and surrender your white privilege by giving me your money. But you keep working. Just give me the money. There you go. You keep working. Say, but she's not going to do that. Yeah, she's just hoping people will celebrate her and go, yay, until she's up at the Capitol trying to defend this stupidity.
Why did you tweet that?
I think I was probably reflecting on what it was to grow up in an environment where I had lots of advantages.
Then why would you refer? Excuse me. Allergies killing me, man. So why would you refer to that? How white of me? As if a whole bunch of white people, or most white people, they're walking around enjoying it secretly that we don't know about. We don't know about it, y'all. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up around a lot of poor white people. Lots of poor white people. I know lots of poor white people too. I see lots of poor white people all the time. They don't look too privileged to me unless they're hiding it. Yeah, see, all of these white folks in America are walking around secretly, millionaires and billionaires. They just don't let us know. All right, let's go ahead and pull a couple of our teeth out. Yeah, that's right. Let's go ahead and buy us a nice little small trailer and just tear it up. Make it look all, this and that. Let's not go ahead and look like we wash all the time. Let's go ahead and look like we are full-blown, underprivileged, Appalachian, white folks. But soon as nobody's looking, that trailer turns into a mansion. Their teeth grow back. They clean up real good. There you go. Oh, wait, here's some black people coming. Hurry up. And it just transforms. There it is. Yeah, all of this stuff that we see, and they always talk about white privilege, and I go, wow, do all of these white people know that? Are they all walking around thinking that? Or are the average white person walking around saying, you know what? I want to survive. I want to make money. I don't care about black folks. I don't care about white folks. I care about my family. I care about, my well-being. I care about, my future. These things like that. I don't think they're walking around like, yo, yeah, for me to succeed, I got to make sure all the black people fail. I got to make sure all the black people do not succeed. I got to keep them down because they're brown. Put my foot in their back because they're black. I got to do that. There it is. No, that's not what they're thinking of. I work with a lot of white folks every single night. We get along great. Yeah, some of them I can tell that I'm probably way more intelligent, have way more privilege than they do. Some of them I can tell this job right here is it for you, pal. I probably could leave and go back into corporate America or into education, something that I don't have to do physical labor. I probably could do that. But you, I could tell just by interacting, that's it. This is the best it is for you right here, buddy. Yeah, this is your bread and butter. Now, I'm thankful to have my job. But you can tell sometime where it's like, yeah, this person's lucky to be here and they found their niche and they're going to ride this till the wheels fall off. And so when I see that, I don't sit back and be thinking, boy, that person right there, what happened to their white privilege? So I cannot stand when these people come out here and they're throwing that out there. Like these white folks are magically walking around thinking they're better than us just because they're white. In fact, white liberals who say that, they think they're better than us. When you say I have white privilege, what you're saying is I know and recognize that I'm better than all you minorities. But, to equal it all out and balance it out, me simply saying and recognizing that I do have white privilege and I'm better than you, that should allow you to overlook the fact that I have white privilege and embrace me as an ally, And I go, you're no ally of mine. You're belittling me by saying that you're better than me, and you're not. So let's continue hearing her weasel off this hook.
It sounds like you're saying that white people feel superior.
I don't believe that anybody feels that way, sir. I was just reflecting on my own experience.
Sure you were. That's why you say how white of me.
White people should pay reparations.
I've never said that, sir.
No, this is the end of a publicly funded media.
He's back. Now, here comes the media. Why is the media feeling the need to come out here and report that all of these outlets and stuff are being defunded, and this is the end of this and that? And guess what? They're all blaming Trump. Let's see.
Era. This dates back to the days of black and white television. Back in the 60s, Congress saw a value for PBS and NPR, but no more. As a result of this rescission, radio and TV stations will have to lay off staffers and cut back on programming.
Yeah, cut back on propaganda and cut back on lying, cut back on manipulating. What? Wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong, guys. Maybe the white lady who was out there talking about, I didn't mean that, and I didn't say that, and I don't remember that. Maybe when she told them we're fair and balanced and maybe she was telling the truth. Unless somebody comes out and gives us some evidence contrary.
Smaller stations will suffer more than bigger stations.
These are not honest news organizations.
Like her. Like Carolyn Levitt. Let's see what she got to say. Give us some evidence of why these joints need to be defunded.
These are partisan, left-wing outlets that are funded by the taxpayers. And this administration does not believe it's a good use of the taxpayers' time and money.
Absolutely. I don't want to be paying for that. Just like when I heard about USAID and when Elon and all of them start exposing all of the pet projects that the Democrats have going on and the government and the money they're sending out to this and that. And I'm going, whoa. I don't want to pay for all of that mess. How about we go ahead and pay for stuff that helps us as Americans? Just like when Mucus and all of them came out and they swirping down that all of the money we get to help out, for tragedies and stuff. Oh, no. We dedicated some of that money to go ahead towards illegal immigrants and stuff like that. Yeah. And I'm going, why? Why? I thought all of that money for FEMA should go towards Americans. What do you mean you divvied out some money to go to illegal immigrants? When you hear about crap like that, it infuriates you. It should burn you up. So I don't want my money going to that. And if Trump wouldn't have won, do you think it would have got better? You think they would have cleaned this up? You think they would have, they put these joints in place just for that, to pimp the system. Yeah, to enrich themselves and make themselves more powerful. Yeah, all of that crap that they put in place with USAID, FEMA, all of that was to support their whole agenda. So now she has to go ahead and remind all of the media who feels like, I can't believe they're defunding these joints, of why they're doing it.
NPR, unfortunately, has become really just a propaganda voice for the left. Just a few examples for you. In 2020, NPR refused to cover the Hunter Biden laptop scandal in the run-up to the election. They said their assertions don't amount to much, writing they did not want to waste the listeners' and readers' time on stories that are just pure
truth. Wow, that seems pretty biased. Where is your deputy dog nose? I mean, if you're supposed to be covering stuff and you got hard-hitting reporters, that want to get to the bottom of stuff, they didn't even want to look at the content of that laptop. Isn't that odd? All of those fake networks where Giuliani was going, hey, here it is. You guys could take a look at it. Nope, we don't even want to see it. We're not going to waste our time on those lies. You know why? Because Brennan, Clapper, and the rest of the intel community told us that these have all the earmarks and hallmarks about the Russian disinformation. So by us even looking into this, we'll be supporting the Russians. That's what we'll be doing. Yeah, that we'll be helping Putin out. So thank you, lying behind intel community, for giving us an excuse to say that's why we don't need to know nothing about that truth in that laptop. See, what else?
Distractions. That does not sound like an unbiased opinion. That sounds like a partisan opinion to me. And this is a taxpayer-funded organization. In 2018, that same CEO that you're talking about called the president in the Oval Office, who nearly 80 million Americans elected, she called him racist.
President Trump? racist? You know what? I'm going to put together a montage of all the wonderful non-racist things that Trump has done that he's never even mentioned. Never even mentioned. Like that one lady who was, violated and then thrown off of a building in New York. Black lady. And was in the hospital, and guess who walked in? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. And he demanded justice for this lady. We need all of those examples. Did Trump never even come out? Trump could come out if he wanted to and say, you know all the stuff I've done way before I ever ran for president that destroys these lies about me being racist. But he don't even do it. He don't even boast about it. The black lady who he let stay in his high rise, and they sent her flowers and food every day. Nobody wants to ever talk about those things that he had no reason to do, because this was way back in the day. He wasn't getting no, PR for it. He wasn't blasting it out there. We wouldn't know about it if the lady didn't make the video. He don't go around boasting about it, but yet they'll swear up and down Trump's racist. Trump's racist. So now that lady that just told us that she's fair and balanced, she called Trump racist. Now, when you do this stuff, and they do it all the time, the news, the Democrats, all of them, what you're really saying then is that all 80 million plus of us, we support a racist. Or we're just too dumb to realize that that man's a racist. We're too dumb to see that he's Hitler. That's what it is. We're too dumb to see all of the negative things that they declare that he is. And I say, wow, I'm not that dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm not the brightest, but I pretty much got a good feel for certain personalities, temperaments, and people like that. My bull crap radar is pretty good. So I don't think that he could have pulled the wool over my eyes, being a full-blown racist. Don't forget, he's a racist, he's a sexist, he's xenophobic, he's all of it. He's all of it. And he was able to pull the wool over my eyes. No, I don't think so. I think that these folks are deceitful. And they throw these things out there for folks who aren't smart enough to see through it. Let's continue seeing what else NPR was up to.
Shared a photo of herself wearing a Biden for President campaign hat. What? Serves on the board of a Soros-funded activist.
Oh, now when that name pops up, the evil emperor. Yes, Trump is an anomaly. They do this repair in 2020. When the evil emperor pops up and you got any ties to him, we already know what you about right there. Oh, yeah. So I think NPR got to go. What else? Let's see. PBS, they got to go. I don't want my chips financing that mess.
Group. In 2020, PBS's White House correspondent at the time characterized President Trump's speech then at Mount Rushmore as a love letter to white resentment, promoting the myth of America.
Wow. Sounds pretty fair and balanced to me. That's a fair and balanced coverage to me. Or is it propaganda? Is it propaganda?
In 2017, PBS devoted an entire panel talking about what it means to be woke and white privilege.
Oh, a whole panel. Yeah, they want folks to know what it means to be woke based on their ideology and their definition of it. Yeah, because see, we take what they come up with and then we make fun of it. And then it becomes negative. So they got to rebrand it, redefine it to everybody. We don't want you to think that wokeness is what all of these conservatives are saying it is. So this is what it means, and this is what it means to also have white privilege. We want to indoctrinate all of you white folks to be guilty liberals. Yeah, to walk around with white liberal guilt. We need that. That's what we need.
These are not honest news organizations. Nope. These are partisan, left-wing outlets that are funded by the taxpayers. And this administration does not believe it's a good use of the taxpayers' time and money.
Woohoo! Yeah! But wait a minute. Oh, yeah. All right, y'all. This is breaking news. The View also is on the chopping block. You're hearing it first here in Kevin's Corner. The View has been canceled and replaced. Here we go. Check this out, y'all.
Breaking news tonight, the president has deported the cast of The View. Their show will be replaced by 4 hours of screaming goat videos. Not much of a difference there.
There they are. Those are the replacements. Replacements for The View. Wonderful. There we go. Yeah, so that's pretty much the same thing we're getting out of The View. That's great, man. Whoever put that meme together is beautiful. Yeah. So Now, you have to understand what makes that funny is because when you watch The View, they swear up and down Trump, he's able to go ahead and get rid of anybody that he wants. He's able to disappear anybody. So why haven't their citizenship been revoked, and why haven't they been moved off to another country and replaced with those goats? Because those goats make more sense. Man, I was like, okay, I feel you, I understand you. I mean, valid point. Valid point, Billy. Valid point, Billy. There you go. Hey, stop eating my shirt. Stop chewing on that. Because that's exactly what they sound like. A bunch of crying, whining, loud goats when you turn the view on. And I'm surprised they're not on the chopping block because they are the same as Stephen Colber, the other one, Jimmy Kimmel, all of the same. They just come on and every single day they just talk about Trump. And they just throw out any reckless thing that pops up in their head, especially Anna Navarro, especially Whoopi the Goldberg, okay, and of course Joy Behar. Those three right there are the pits, and the other ones are too. But those three really got a bad case of Trump derangement syndrome, and you could only take so much of that. Do these networks not realize that these people are coming on every day trashing the leader of our country in all kind of ways? The leader of the country that wouldn't be the leader of the country if we didn't vote for him. See, so from a business standpoint, that's bad business. I'm saying to myself, these folks are horrible, man. These business decisions, especially after Trump won again, that should have let them know, okay, maybe we need to go ahead and start redefining our business model here, okay, because it was useful when we thought we could influence the masses, influence the election, sway the election, but now that didn't work. So now what are we left with? If it didn't work then, we're just going to pick up and keep going. And all we're doing is isolating more and more people and showing just how biased we are. So anyway, it is what it is. But guys, look at this, y'all. So now we're going to go ahead and kind of pivot from the fake news to, of course, these Democrats. Because these Democrats who are really woke and they're, really communists themselves and all that stuff, but they got to pretend they're not. They have a decision to make whether they're going to support Zoran the moron. Yeah, and then this is starting to spread. And now they got one popped up there in Minneapolis, and he's parroting the same stuff as Zoran the moron. And so Zoran the moron is putting the pressure on him. Apparently, he done went and met with some of them. Let's go ahead and see how they are responding to Zoran the moron. Here we go. Oh, they had a meeting with him, y'all.
And, the overall impression on me was, this guy is not a communist. He's not a socialist. He's an advocate for small c capitalism.
See, now you see that pressure he had on me. So either you guys have a horrific ability to read people. You're not able to watch all the clips of this man out there saying stuff that lines perfectly up with communist ideology. But now all of a sudden, he didn't change your mind. Because see, this is the direction that the Democrat Party wants to go in the first, anyway. I mean, now there is some older ones that's going, hey, we might want to have complete dominance and control over everybody, but it ain't time yet, okay? America's not there yet. See, we got to keep warning them and keep lying to them and keep them asleep so that they wake up one day and don't realize that they've embraced, communism. They've embraced, socialism. We want them to think it was their idea. It was their idea, and we didn't shove it down their throats. And you guys are coming out, and y'all are so obvious about it that, it makes everybody go, whoa, that sounds like communism. That sounds like socialism. And so these bums are too weak to say we don't have socialists in our party. I don't care how charismatic this dude is. So now he's making excuses for Zoran the moron and say, don't sound like communism or socialism to me. So then what does it sound like?
And that, he really is fighting for the little business guy that's trying to eke out a living in New York. Half of all New Yorkers, get their jobs from small business. This guy is not a communist. He's not a socialist.
So we better help him out.
You sure about that?
All right, you are a self-described democratic socialist.
Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality.
Unless I have it. Unless I have it. See, now, notice, though, she jumped right over millionaires, though. She jumped right over millionaires. She went to the billionaires. Because most of these socialists right here are very close to being a millionaire, or they're now millionaires. So, of course, they got to redirect all of their tax to the billionaires until they become one. Because, see, his mother is a millionaire. This guy grew up in privilege. So, of course, he's not going to talk about millionaires. Now, we want to go ahead and focus on those billionaires and go after their money. So, in other words, if you can make it and make billionaires, no, we don't want that. In my mind, I'm going, hey, if you can make it, make it. If I could earn $1 billion, you don't think I would? I'm not going to sit back and feel guilty about it. Yeah, I will, of course, be generous with my money, but it would be on my account. It would be like, yo, I'm doing this, and I think this is important. I think that's important. I'll give to this and that. But I'm not going to let Zoran the moron come in and say, I'm taking your money and I'm going to do stuff with it, because I don't think, even though you came up with a wonderful idea or wonderful product or whatever, and it earned you all this money, I don't think you have the right to have all that money. And yet this is the guy that the Democrats are flirting with. Unbelievable.
This guy is not a communist. He's not a socialist.
And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country.
That better distribution of wealth. See, so I would love, though, for him to give us any examples of when socialism ever worked, or the Democrats. Do you understand how quickly New York will fall if this idiot gets elected? And I hope they know that. I hope right now it's a lot of hype, but when it comes down to it, folks are going to vote with some common sense. I really do. But there is a high probability that this fool right here might mess around and win. Unbelievable. Especially when Democrats are starting to protect him. At first, they didn't want to touch him. Now, all of a sudden, well, he's not that bad. What does he have over them? I'm going, why do y'all need to act like this guy, isn't that bad? Y'all should be distancing yourself from this guy so far. But nope, they're too weak and feckless.
So, you admit it? Yeah. Guilty as charged.
He's an advocate for small c capitalism. And that, he really is fighting for the little business guy.
The little business guy.
Do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism.
Oh, well, that goes ahead and destroys the little business guy. Many critiques of capitalism. So then what's your suggestion? Let Zoran the moron decide who gets what. There it is. Let this guy determine where the money goes, who can make the money, what jobs people can work. I mean, do you understand how I'm flabbergasted. The fact that we are at this point in America where this is even a potential option. A potential option. But that goes to show how far our certain party have gone off the rails. Off the rails. The fact that they even tolerate people in their party that label themselves as democratic socialists, that was the first door that was open for folks like this. And then they're coming in through that party. I always said, if America falls, it will be because whatever came in came through the Democrat Party. There it is. They have allowed themselves to be used by globalists and all of these folks who hate the country and crazy ideology and all of this stuff. And they push it into society. They embrace it. They make excuses for it. They tolerate it. And if the country falls, it will come through that party. And we were very close for that happening when it came down to the first time Trump won and blocked it by beating Hillary's butt. Then they said, let's revamp it and accelerate it under creepy after they cheated, hoping that they can go ahead and break it all down before Trump gets back in or just full-blown stop him, and they didn't. So we got grace, some more grace. But don't be fooled. These people want this stuff to happen. They're not redirecting. They're not course correcting. They're not sitting back going, man, you know what? Maybe we should learn from this. Maybe we should start moving back to, some common sense and back to the middle. Nope, not them. Yeah, they're sitting there tolerating folks like this in their party. So we shall see if Zoran the moron will mess around and win New York, and then we'll get an example of how quickly a state can crumble. You think New York is on the down right now with their voting and all of that stuff under? No, you ain't seen nothing yet. That guy gets in, wow, it's over with. Look at this fool. Here's the lady with the cockeye, the wondering eye. Look at this lady right here.
Fantastic. Zoran Mamdani is an incredible talent. He is going to be a great mayor for New York City. I was proud to endorse him.
She's a full socialist. She's a part of the squad. And she's an American hater. That's what she is. Of course, she's going to be like, absolutely, he's great.
For the primary, and he is so smart, so authentic.
So smart, so authentic. Let's just see how smart and authentic he is.
He is so smart, so authentic.
Are you shitting me?
And a new controversy. Jennifer Bisram reports Zoran Mamdani's past is being questioned.
33-year-old Democratic nominee who identifies as a Muslim immigrant from South Asian descent is coming under fire for a label he claimed as a high school senior applying for college. According to internal...
Yeah, man, you see all the boxes he's trying to check? I'm a Muslim immigrant of the Libyan slash, Siberian, the descent of the nation of Zulu. The Zulu warrior, and my roots go back to the Inuits. And this guy right here is whatever he needs to be. He's a chameleon, but he's smooth. That's the thing. He ain't like Chameleon Harris, who's obviously a chameleon, who, you're sitting back, she's unlikable. Her personality is ugh. But she tries to change and adapt and stuff, and it's just it's a turn off, it's off-putting. This guy, he's smooth with it. Yeah, that's what he is. And so he forgot, though, that he left some of those chameleon crumbs out there because he tried to say he was a brother to get into some school. Let's see.
Data from a hack of Columbia University, the New York Times obtained. Mamdani, who was born in Uganda, checked a box that he was Asian, but also checked the box for Black or African American.
What the crap? He's better. He's worse than thing on, Elizabeth Warren. So wait, Asian, he's African, he's Black, he's Muslim. I'm surprised he ain't gay, but straight at the same time. I'm the first gay straight politician that ever. Unbelievable. He's everything to everybody. So now you mean to tell me he's also a brother? Now what burns me up about the woke party and all of the minorities that support the woke party, who is so racially sensitive, when they find out these Democrats have been either, pandering or taking advantage, trying to identify with, a race or a culture so they can get an advantage, they just forgive them. That's what burns me up. They just say, let's let that go. They'll sit back and they will let Joe Biden come out there talking about, I was raised in the black church. I went to the black church every day after leaving mass and this and that. And he goes into these black environments and he lies like that and they applaud it, clap. And I go, what are you doing? Hillary Clinton goes up in there and belittle black folks, take advantage of them. I don't feels no ways tired. And they all clap. Dang on AOC goes in there. I don't see nothing wrong with being a bartender. And they all clap. And I go, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't realize what they're doing to you? How they view you? Unbelievable. And so this guy right here decided that he was also black, along with being Asian and Muslim and whatever else he is, Indian. He's everything to everybody.
American on his Columbia University application during a time when elite colleges factored in race in the admissions process.
Tell him, McCluskey. Tell him what time it is.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people? That's him.
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? Yeah. See, no, man, look at those beady eyes. That's what he is. He's out there playing. A black guy. Boy, that was one of my favorite characters, Robert Downey Jr. playing that. Yeah, he's like, hey, man, you remember like Rambo 1 when he like big and puffy, and then Rambo 2 he came back shredded? That's how you look, man. Really? I mean, that's the kind of look I was going, no, man, come on, man. Hey, man, you more shredded than a Julian salad, man. Come on, man. You got any tips? Because I'm trying to come up. I mean, you got any tips? Well, yeah, there's a pineapple. Give me the goddamn back. That was great, man. Loved him. So let's continue seeing what's going on, because Manani, Zoran the Moron, says that he ain't going to let ICE come into New York, and he's going to fight against Trump and all of that stuff. If he's elected, he's going to Trump-proof New York. If he's elected, basically, he's going to let New York turn into a SO-ran state, worse than it already is. And he's not alone, because as we watched earlier, these networks that were using propaganda, of course, the Democrats are also using propaganda against ICE. And it's bad, y'all. It's real bad. So let's check it out, because ICE is under attack, y'all.
They are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people on the streets.
There's Ugly Eye again. There is Ugly Eye. Y'all see her again? They're coming and kidnapping people on the streets. Yeah, so there is Ugly Lazy Eye again, swearing up and down they're coming and they're kidnapping. So basically, she is accusing law enforcement of a crime. That's what she's doing. This is a lawmaker. Now, do you think she's interested in making laws? You think she's really taking her job seriously? Or is she using her position for propaganda, manipulation, all of that, when you come out and you declare that law enforcement is kidnapping people?
Of the United States.
We have ICE federal.
Here's another one on one of the late night networks, and you wonder why they're mad, because they're taking it off. So we have ICE doing what?
Federal agents pulling up, terrorizing our communities, hopping out of unmarked vans, stealing and yes, kidnapping people.
Stealing and yes, kidnapping people, y'all. You see the lies that the Democrats are capable of? I mean, it's unbelievable what they are willing to do for power. So this man is on the late night show, and it probably is with Jimmy, with Stephen Colber, probably, most likely. And he's saying, yeah, they're rolling up on the scene. Stop it. Put that down. Yeah, they're rolling up on the scene in unmarked vehicles, jumping out, terrorizing folks, and all of this stuff. Now, what do you mean by terrorizing folks? See, he ain't gonna tell you that. Why are they doing that? Are they pulling up to neighborhoods where all these Americans are outside playing and the kids are outside, and they say, hey, here's a nice neighborhood of Americans that I think we should just pull up with our unmarked vehicles, jump out, and just start terrorizing them for no reason? No, we're not looking for anybody. No, we have no suspicion that illegal immigrants are here. No, none of that. We're just interested in pulling up in unmarked vehicles and terrorizing people. He didn't mention that they are searching for illegal immigrants, because guess what? He never wants the audience to know that there's a difference between American citizens and illegal immigrants. Not at all. So he just wants you to think that they're just pulling up terrorizing regular citizens. So let's continue watching this demonization.
Always a vicious lie, and now we have proof.
Yes, we do.
Meet Uriana Julia Peleas Calderon, an illegal living in LA who just got busted for staging an immigration kidnapping hoax.
What? No way. So now you're telling me these illegals are taking advantage of these dumb behind Democrats and all of their rhetoric? Why not? Yeah, there you go. We see politicians out there saying ICE is dangerous, they're kidnapping folks, they're disappearing folks, all of this stuff. So why not try to take advantage of this? And guess what? They had press conferences and stuff. Democrats are so easily to be manipulated by folks who want to take advantage of the system, because they are hungry to make Trump look bad, hungry to make half of America look bad, make conservatives look bad, make normal folks that aren't woke look bad. That's why they fall for stuff like Jussie Smollett. Yeah, as soon as they hear about it, they're all on it. This is ridiculous. Anybody who disagrees with Jussie Smollett's testimony, they're anti-gay, all of this stuff. And all of us with common sense are going, no, I don't know about that. You mean in the middle of the night he had to have that sandwich? Just had to have it? Right in the middle of the night, they recognized him. These white supremacists, this is MAGA country now. Ain't that the gay dude from... Yeah, immediately I was going, I don't know about that. They fall for this crap real easy because they're always looking for some grievance. They're always looking for a way to make half the country look like they are evil and they're racist. And this right here is an example. But yet, look what happens.
Now, the DOJ says the 41-year-old claims she was abducted by masked federal agents
while
on her way to work in order to generate public sympathy and even solicit donations. Now, Calderon claimed that she was kidnapped by gunpoint by so-called bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters! You're telling me nobody is starting to feel like this is suspicious? Why her? You're telling me the bounty hunters focused all their attention on just that little lady right there. There you go. Normally, I try to get them in, groups and stuff like that. But nope. Now, she, for whatever reason, popped up on the bounty hunters list. So they were like, all right, there we go. We got a new one. Here's this 41-year-old lady right here. Let's go ahead and get her, kidnap her, and then make her do what?
Oh, ridiculous. Well, last month, her family and friends even held press conferences selling her sick lie and then giving, of course, the press and left-wing agitators their favorite narrative. According to the DOJ, Calderon's daughter even set up a fundraising page asking for $4,500. She faces charges of conspiracy, making false statements to federal officers. Let's talk big picture.
Yeah, and that also, should happen to the folks who were in on that scheme. And she only would do something like this because she has been paying attention to the rhetoric that comes out of these Democrats. In the media, who makes these people feel like they're victims, make them feel like, you have a right to be here, and ICE is so evil, y'all can attack them. Y'all can go ahead and throw stuff at them. Y'all can shoot at them, and why not take advantage of these dumb people? Now, I wonder if they all feel dumb. Every time these things pop up, where all of a sudden somebody put a noose on my office desk, and you find out that they did it. I thought somebody wrote the N-word on this door, and you find out they did it. I thought I was, beat up and the noose was put around my neck because I'm gay. All of these things. Michael Brown was on the ground saying, hands up, don't shoot, and found out that he got himself killed. All of these things that they jump on board with real quick, and then everybody else with common sense goes, I don't know about that. This lady swore up and down she was kidnapped by bounty hunters, and y'all just jumped out there, did a press conference, and the sad part is probably some dummies gave money. Only dummies give money to that. So now let's just see why these things are happening. Look at this.
Here for a second. Why is it important to you that you get in there? For you as an elected official to see for yourself the conditions in there and for you to describe them to the public?
Yeah. Now, that's that guy right there that just was out there talking about ICE on the late night show. Now, he wanted to get into Alligator Alcatraz. He needed to get in and see for himself how these people were treated.
Well, number one, it's important because I'm one of the only people that's able to go inside that facility, walk outside of it, and deliver the truth.
All lies. The number one is because I am a bleeding heart liberal Democrat who knows how important these illegal immigrants are to us. So therefore, I'm wasting a whole bunch of time making sure they're accommodated. They're have nice air conditions and 3 or 4 or 5, 6 meals. They probably got their own chefs. We want that. We want them to have their own bathrooms, flat screen TVs and all of that stuff before they are deported out of there. Or do we want them to have the basic minimum and be slightly uncomfortable before we deport them so that others say, you know what, I don't want to go there. I'll self-deport. Give me the $1,000 and fly me back somewhere where I might even have a shot at coming back. That's what we want to do? Or do we make it nice and comfy like the Democrats did with our tax dollars by putting them in nice fancy hotels, flying them all over the place, giving them bus tickets, food stipends and things like that? Look at these idiots, man. They don't realize how anti-American they are.
Say exactly what I saw and exactly what's going on. When I went in and we were standing at that door, looking at the cages, looking at the hundreds of men in there, I saw myself in those cages.
Yeah, that's where you need to be.
Your time will come.
I saw people who were my age, people who looked exactly like me. And I thought when we were walking out of those doors of the internment camp, I thought,
I'm one of the only people that looks like me and that's my age that's going to actually walk out of this place without being deported.
Now, you see the propagandists? You see this fake behind politician? Notice what he is trying to connect that all with: color, race. So wait, did you also see folks in there that were Americans? Because see, that's the major difference between you and them. You idiot, but you don't want to mention that. You want to make it seem like these folks were just detained because they were men of color, not illegal immigrants. These folks are so deceptive. That's why MSNBC needs to go ahead and collapse, because see, they bring people on like him to go ahead and push this. Steve Colber, that's why. You bring folks like this on to lie and swear up and down that ICE is just racist, even though it's all of these Hispanic men working for ICE. All of them. But yet they're all racist and they just want to see people of color locked up, not illegal immigrants. Yeah, have nothing to do with that. That never even pops up on their radar as they are demonizing ICE. They never even mention ICE is going after illegal immigrants. They just talk about how they're demonizing Americans and people and stuff like that.
Dozens of lawmakers, by the way, have reported is not 24 hours a day air conditioned, that has 34 people per cage.
Oh, here is the dumbest one. She's the dumbest one on the 5. So dozens of lawmakers have made it don't have 24-hour air conditioning. There are some jail cells or, prisons that don't have air conditioning at all. But yet she's thinking that, hey, this place needs to be a resort.
Has a mosquito problem.
Oh, no, not a mosquito problem. What? Then you know what? I mean, I must have been raised in a concentration camp growing up. Because you know what? Growing up in a black neighborhood, you know what? We didn't have no air conditioning. We had open windows. There it is. Go and open a window. And you know what came through those open windows? It was a trade-off. You open the windows, but you also get the mosquitoes. So the whole time, you're laying in the bed at nighttime, hot, and smacking your own face because mosquitoes are wearing you out. And the best you could do, maybe throw a fan in the window. Then it just circulates the hot air. Just blows the hot air around and stuff like that. Yeah. But yet, this woman is talking about there's no 24-hour air condition and there's mosquitoes. Man, are you kidding me? We had mosquitoes. We had all kind of stuff. But yet she's talking about these folks like they should be taken care of very gently and stuff like that. I thought the goal was to deter them and make them say, boy, this was not a good idea. Maybe I should go home.
Oh, not mosquitoes. That's just like my lake house.
The most important thing, and the reason that this issue has swung against Donald Trump, the fact that the people who are in this facility haven't been convicted of anything.
That they haven't been convicted of anything. So basically, in her brain and the rest of their brains, just being here legally is not enough to deport you. No, you got to be convicted of some type of crime that you've committed aside from coming into the country legally. Yeah. Now, does that deter anybody? So basically, I just break one law. The law I just broke the law to get here. Other than that, I have not done anything else. So I deserve to stay. Now, unless you convict me of stealing some bubble gum, jaywalking, potentially robbing somebody, or being an MS-13 gang member or something like that, you can't convict me and send me out of here. See the stupidity of these dummies right here? Now, none of these people were sitting back, criticizing the Biden administration and the Democrats for that wide open border, bringing these people in, knowing that these people were going to have to go if Trump won, knowing they was going to have to go. They never stopped to say, you know what, man, maybe they should go ahead and start censoring and screening and all this stuff. Maybe they should go ahead and tighten it up. Maybe they should go ahead and require more than just I'm coming here for asylum. For what? Something. Okay, that's cool. Come on in. There it is. Maybe they should do that. So you get them all here with no plan. No real process to get them here, except just get to the border, step foot on our land, and now you're a citizen. And now y'all want to whine about get them out of here. You wasn't whining about the uncomfortable conditions of them coming. Wasn't whining about the hot sun burning them as they marched all the way from Guatemala or wherever they were coming from. You weren't talking about how some of them died from heat strokes in the back of trucks. You didn't talk about that. You weren't talking about the kids that were, if they start crying or couldn't keep up, the coyotes would throw them in the river or whatever. We're talking about that. We're talking about all of the dangerous stuff they had to endure to get here. Yeah, as long as you got them here. You weren't whining about the mosquitoes trying to eat them on the way. But now all of a sudden, this is important for her.
The Miami Herald, I don't know, the more you laugh, the crueler you seem.
Yeah, the more you laugh, the crueler you seem. No, the more you bring this stuff up, the stupider you seem. If you're not going into everyday prisons whining about that, then you're cruel. Yeah, so I guess us Americans that are detained and in prison, that we have those conditions, but not these precious illegal immigrants. Not them. So until these Democrats start going prison to prison, checking the air. All right, that's should be 65. Right now I detect it's at least 72. That's uncomfortable for our American prisoners. There it is. Is that a mosquito in that man's cell right there? And look at this. Look at this. There's 4 to a cell right here. You know what? They're not doing that? No, because the Americans don't matter to them. They're worried about these illegal immigrants, so they got to make up stories about how horrific alligator Alcatraz is.
More people know that you're cruel. By the way, it's not just that you seem that way.
So if someone is charged with rape and they're in alligator Alcatraz, you're worried about mosquitoes?
Of course you are. There it is. That's how dumb Jessica is and these Democrats are. Yeah. The people that's in there charged with all kind of crimes, and she's worried about mosquitoes, and we're cruel.
Of the people in there have been convicted of something. That leaves 2/3 that have not. Why are you
have orders for removal.
Read the Miami Herald.
Straighten her out, Jesse, like we always have to do to Jessica. Do it, Jesse. Be cruel for that stupidity.
Order of removal for a judge. You keep asking about due process. Well, if a judge says this guy's got to go, they pick him up, they put him in alligator Alcatraz, and 3 weeks later he's on a flight home.
3 weeks later. But that's too much time for these illegal immigrants to have to sit there uncomfortable. There it is. So they all been determined to be taken back to their crib, but not according to Jessica and the Democrats. No, we want these people to stay. That's what we want. And I'm telling you, man, we got a lot of dumb Americans that don't realize the scheme that's been pulled on the country when it comes down to this. Hopefully they're watching the behavior of these Democrats whine and complain and kick and scream and go down there and dedicate all their time and resources to folks that aren't even American citizens. And hopefully they'll wake up and say, whoa, y'all care more about them than us. I got a cousin that's in prison and the conditions are horrible. But yet y'all want these people to have nice air conditions and stuff like that for just about 3 weeks before they get bounced up out of here?
Are innocent people and sometimes even American citizens that are being picked up by ICE. There's a 25-year-old veteran.
One American in alligator Alcatraz besides the warden.
There was someone, Max Frost, the congressman from the Orlando area, who reported that someone did yell, "I am an American citizen."
Really?
What?
One American in alligator Alcatraz besides the warden.
There was someone, Max Frost, the congressman from the Orlando area, who reported that someone did yell, "I am an American citizen." I am an American.
There you go.
Bullshit.
That's how dumb that lady is right there. You see how dumb Jessica is? Yeah. So apparently, this guy on the way out, somebody, hey, listen, I'm an American. There it is. Gotta believe that guy. The guy who's been detained and about to get deported yells out, "I'm an American." But that's Jessica's proof. That is Jessica's proof. You see how dumb they are? So we're going to finish with this guy right here from Newsmax, who's really highlighting how foolish these Democrats are.
We were borderless in this country as Joe Biden and Democrats committed one of the most treasonous acts possible.
Yes, that's true.
The damage done, the risk to our lives, to our national security, to our livelihoods is unforgivable, and Americans shoved Trump back into the White House.
Shoved him.
Because of that, despite every single federal institution's warnings against doing so. It was very clear that our own government was against us. That's what we learned for the past 4 years. Trump returned to the White House with a mandate to stop our own government from destroying our country, and that is what is happening right now. That's what ICE is doing every single day.
Every day.
And the same people who decimated our sovereignty, the same people that want to destroy your country for their own gain, are now screaming that it is fascist to return to the way that this country was run before.
Now, isn't that odd? Yeah, the same people who sat back and pretended that we were making it up when it comes down to that broken border. We're manufacturing a crisis. This is normal to look down there at that border and see thousands of people coming a day. That's normal. Yep, it's normal to see them going through fences and the coyote giving us the salute after he done dropped off about 1,500 of them. It's normal. It's normal to see them running past, border patrol or agents that were down there, just running past them. We couldn't stop and open fire on them, because I'm sure they were given orders to just let them breach. There it is. That's normal. All of that stuff for 4 years. They made excuses. This wouldn't happen if we had border, some type of new policies. We need to go ahead and have border reform and the immigration reform, and nobody wants to work with us. And we had all the excuses they gave to justify that. And now we're reversing it, and now they're giving more excuses to keep it that way.
Joe Biden's horrific presidency.
And these ICE agents.
Look at this guy.
Running around our communities like masked bank robbers.
These are slimy people. These are nasty, stinking, low-down, slimy, deceitful people. When I listen to them, it's hard to fathom how evil these people are because, see, we know it. We see through it. We know that these people are frauds and they are evil. And the sad part is people in our country don't know it. You got people that's like, look what they're doing to all of these immigrants. And I'm going, you don't see how deceitful this human is right here? What he's doing. So now this guy is saying they're running on this. He's talking about ICE. That's what he's talking about.
Terrorizing women. They're going to get themselves hurt. I hope every state that is able to, and every community that is able to, unmasks ICE.
Look at that. They're willing to put ICE in danger based on their rhetoric, really, just to save their illegal immigrants. Demonizing ICE and then saying, unmask them. No unmasking for all of the free Palestine people, all of the Antifians and stuff like that. But here's this dirtbag right here saying unmask them. Now, what happens when you unmask one of them and they get hurt? Or their family member gets hurt? Or something like that. But do you think he cares about that? No, he's a Democrat, a dirty one at that. This shouldn't even be in Congress after getting busted sleeping with a spy.
Now, forget the fact that he's one of the biggest idiots in the country.
True.
And remember the fact that he's actually a sitting congressman.
Yeah.
And this is every day we're hearing this now.
Yeah, that's the shocking part. That's why I said it's hard to comprehend that we're here, where we're listening to so-called lawmakers demonize law enforcement like this.
Nazis are kidnapping and disappearing innocent people all over our country. This is being said by people elected to office, people that have a lot of responsibility behind them. A Rhode Island state representative made that same claim recently, calling ICE Nazis in his neighborhood. When they arrested the man you can see on the right, his constituents were shocked to hear that.
What?
Until they found out that the victim was a Honduran, self-admitted MS-13 gang member, one of the most violent people in the world,
what?
And also a fentanyl trafficker as well.
Well, look at that. I thought he was just a Maryland man or something like that other guy. Yeah, these are the folks that these people are out here whining about, complaining, and calling ICE Nazis and stuff.
This happens every single day. This is the rhetoric that we hear. They scream and they sob like children over the removal of dangerous and oftentimes very horrible people.
So why are they doing that? Tell us the real reason.
Who are also here in the country illegally. It's like we live in the Twilight Zone.
Yes, it is.
What is deranged and cruel and outrageous is that literally we are seeing ICE agents. They are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people.
And you compare them to those nondescript thugs who grabbed that student, that graduate student. It does look like a Gestapo operation.
They're acting more like vigilantes than of agents of our government.
You know how foul these, I'm telling you, man. Wow. Call me up to Congress, okay? It's just as a regular citizen to give my opinion about what's going on around the country in regards to this situation. And I will give every single one of them an earful that they'll never forget. They will be yelling, reclaiming my time constantly, because I will be giving it to them. What makes you qualified to comment on this? I'm an American citizen that pays taxes, and I've been watching you on TV, supposed to be a responsible lawmaker, but saying some of the most reckless, irresponsible stuff that is convincing dumb Americans to go out and risk their life to go ahead and attack ICE. Putting ICE in danger, putting your voters, the dumb folks in danger, putting all of these people in danger because of the real scheme that you guys are trying to perpetrate on the American people. And this guy is going to have to go ahead and describe what the real issue is. Why are they all mad about this? Is it because they just love illegal immigrants? Or else?
To ethnically cleanse this country of certain types of immigrants.
Illegal immigrants.
There it is. Ethically cleanse the country of certain types of immigrants. Of course, that means we're racist.
Are their path to power.
There it is. Thank you. I'm glad somebody said it. The illegal immigrants are their paths to power. What else?
Screwing with their power. And that's the only thing that they care about. So that's why they sound the way that they sound. It's not because they care about these people. They care about this was their path to perpetual power. Bring in tons of these people and they're all going to vote for Democrats because Democrats are the reason they're here.
Bam! Yeah, I'm glad somebody said it. Now, we all know that this is what's going on. We see through it. It's very obvious. I'm like, yeah, this is obvious that this is what y'all scheme was all about. And yeah, Trump stepped in and is messing it all up.
Notched up the rhetoric so extreme that ICE now wearing masks to avoid doxing, covering their faces so anarchists, anti-fascists don't go burn their houses down with their families inside. And after driving federal immigration officers to mask up, they then shamed them for doing so in an epic gaslight. The reason that they're masked up is because of the violence that these people have sent in their direction, and then they shame them for wearing a mask.
Now, isn't that odd? You see the scheme, you see the diabolical plan of these Democrats. They're like, what we got to do is demonize ICE so badly to where they don't want to perform their job, so that, it's hard to perform their job, so that other folks won't want to become ICE agents. We got to do that and turn dummies against them to the point where it puts them in danger. And then when they do something to compensate for the danger that we put them in by demonizing them, let's further put them in danger by saying that you got to go out there unmasked after we just got done calling you Nazis, Gestapo, the kidnappers, all of that stuff. You got to go out there unmasked after we done and incentivize people to go out there and shoot at you, throw Molotov cocktails at you, puncture your tires, throw bricks at you. After we done did all of that, after we done incentivize people to be on the internet, like if you see any of these people and you identify them and let's go ahead and show where they live. These are politicians who did this. Some of the most corrupt politicians on the planet. And they are so obviously corrupt and evil, and yet somehow they're still operating. Somehow they're still in business because we got enough dumb Americans to continue voting for these evil folks. Unbelievable.
America is once again a sovereign nation like the rest of the West is, like most of the countries in the civilized world are. And the response from Democrats to that is this.
ICE has become the largest federal law enforcement agency for one reason only. Its charge is to make America white again. It's profoundly racist, and it's rooted in...
No, what's racist is you big dumb black dude right here with the blue glasses. It's racist for you to be out here saying that ICE's job is to make America white again, even though half of these dudes are Latino. I've seen black ICE members, black females. I've seen all of this, but yet you get on this propaganda network and use some of the most reckless rhetoric ever. And this is why our country is the way it is right now. Because of people like him and networks who put him on their show to get out here and say ICE's job is to make America white again.
An ideology that's tied to, bound up with white nationalism.
Politics is full of gaslighting. There's lies and BS everywhere, right? But this one really is a beauty. After spending the last 4 years trying to turn your country as brown as possible, the reaction to ending their great replacement scheme is to scream racism. Trump won't allow the entire world to just enter our country with a little app on your phone where you just click asylum. That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist. Yeah, that's their solution to this. That's how they want to stop Trump from deporting all these people, by crying racism. Racism. And platforming dudes like that softcore black dude with those glasses right there that I would love to have a sparring match with. I would love that. So just in case you know him, anybody, if you run across that guy, say, hey, Do you ever, like spar or anything? Because I know a guy who would love to get in the ring and spar with you. That's all. That's all I want. I just want a good 5-minute sparring match with him. Won't take five. That's what I want. When I see people out there that are race baiters like that, and they get out there and they just straight up lie, they don't understand the damage that they're doing to our country when they do this. Now, with that being said, the propaganda continues, but I'm not going to continue. I'm going to pick up here tomorrow. And we're talking about, of course, y'all, Trump Epstein love letter. That's right, y'all. Apparently, Donald Trump done wrote a love letter to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the crazy part about this love letter, wait a minute, you know what? I might have to touch on it just for a quick second. The crazy part about this is you would think that the whole Epstein thing, folks was mad over Trump and, the base was all divided up. You would think the Democrats would sit back and sit this one out. Like Trump did when, the Democrats and the whole Biden situation took place and they were trying to out him. And he said, I'm not going to interrupt my enemy from destroying themselves. I'm not going to chime in. I'm going to sit back and watch this play out. So now all of this was playing out. And guess what? Democrats had to get involved. They couldn't help it. So let's see.
More on the breaking news coming from the Wall Street Journal tonight. The Journal is reporting a letter bearing Trump's name given to Epstein in 2003. It was part of a leather-bound book for Epstein's 50th birthday. According to the Journal, it contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be...
Wait a minute. Hold on. None of that sounds like a Trump move. Typed? Are you kidding? Can Trump even type? But let's continue.
And drawn with a heavy marker.
Heavy marker? There it is. Sounds like a kid just put this together. Go get some markers, and I'm going to go ahead and type this letter and draw a half-naked woman and stuff like that. So wait, how could you, with a serious face, present this and not think that people will go, what? But yes, CNN went ahead, and they took the letter and I guess the report, and they just went ahead and repeated it. Let's see.
I'll use the word Sharpie. They describe it as a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist. The Journal...
Squiggly Donald. He didn't put Donald Trump. How do we know it's Donald Trump? I mean, you don't think Jeffrey could have known another Donald? I mean, no telling how many people he wrote. Usually, Trump, signs, he's so proud of his last name. But he usually says Donald J. Trump or whatever. But no, he was just sitting Donald. He just put Donald. He put Donald. So let's see what Donald had to say. Because CNN is taking this seriously.
Says mimicking pubic hair. The letter concludes, according to the Journal, quote, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret, end quote. Now, in an interview with the Wall Street Journal about this reporting, the Journal says Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture.
Of course he did. This is ridiculous. Now, what the Wall Street Journal has done now is united the base again. They done ticked Trump off enough with this trash to where now he's like, you know what, I'm about to put this to bed. And for a minute here, I was sitting back going, let's drop this mess and this and that. But y'all gonna come in with this garbage right here, and now you're gonna make me do something drastic. See, now, they wouldn't leave well enough alone.
He said, and I quote, this is not me, this is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words.
Nothing about this. So now we see a hit piece come out of this that they should have just left alone. They should have just stayed out of this. But they're like, how can we pile on? They think that piling on and coming up with this trash is going to further split the base. That's how dumb. Their political instincts are horrible. You see the base squabbling over this. You see Trump saying, look, let's drop this. And then what do? You put something out there that's so stupid that the base is focused on Trump going, man, how can Trump? Then all of a sudden they're going, wait a minute. Hold up. Somebody wrote that. That's not Trump. Oh, wait, who's y'all trying? It's kind of like a family member who you say, look, we can talk about our family. We might, get mad at our family. We might have a beef, but you can't come in here and do that. No, this right here is a family issue. Now here y'all come. Yeah. And then and guess what else? I think he should. Now you're going, whoa. Now the whole family gets united again. And then they said, now we got to deal with you. Okay. So that's what happened. And we'll deal with this love letter tomorrow, y'all, when I do my live show. Okay. So yeah, I just want to go ahead and give you a heads up because we got to go ahead and get to the bottom of this wonderful love letter that Trump allegedly wrote to Jeffrey Epstein. All right. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight on this Sunday. I'll be back tomorrow. So make sure that you keep your notification buttons on the way out. Hit the like button. Share my videos. Don't forget also to, if you want to, support the channel through my Cash App or my PayPal and all that good stuff. Other than that, man, we will see y'all tomorrow. We'll pick right up where we left off. All right. So God bless y'all. God bless America. See you tomorrow. Take care.